Well, good evening. I'm your host, Robert Wilson of Cowboy Wisdom. Tonight's podcast is 7 ways why everything we think and know are unrealized sabotaging obedience. This isn't a lesson. It's energetic liberation and inner rupture from recycled cognitions, credentialed cages, and legacy logic. We're here to dissolve the worn out loops of thinking, knowing, learning, and and labeled knowledge, and to ignite a fresh foresight that never echoes the past to instantly broadcast my here and now wow. This is a contour craft clarity, and contour craft is dissolves templates, devises programming, and ignites the presence of sovereign ignition. This is the moment thought stops and free-flowing embodied inspirations, imagination, innovation, intuition suddenly becomes a streaming, sassy tenacity of your trend-setting audacity as we rise to the here and now, as I am awakened and aware, realizing, admitting the world is intentionally coded for conformity. Most minds operate on inherited loops, what we think, know, learn, and knowledge and thoughts. As knowledge often masquerades as mastery while quietly sabotaging our sovereign clarity. The cognitive constructs are never neutral. They're programmed patterns rehearsed and reflexed in credentialed cages that delay our intuitive ignitions. This is never a critique of intelligence. It's a call to the contour craft consciousness to dissolve the archive and broadcast the brilliance that's been buried beneath the badge of knowing and thinking and knowledge. So now my inner rupture is the rehearsal to rapture, is my unrehearsed rapture wise to rise of my free-flowing inspiration, innovation, imagination, and intuition. Why think, know, learn, knowledge, and thoughts are unrealized sabotaging obedience. Obedience thrives on cognitive choreography. Systems never fear ignorance, they fear intuition. That's kind of an enlightening right there. They fear intuition. And that's how come our thinking, knowing, knowledge, and all that's our comfort zone programming. By teaching people to think in loops, know what's approved, and learn what's licensed, obedience is installed as a default operating system. Thought becomes a leash, never a launchpad for your dreams. Knowledge becomes credentialed cages. What we know is often what we've been taught to repeat, never what we've discovered through through vibrancy. The more we accumulate knowledge, the more we defer to the external authorities of our life. Sovereignty gets silenced beneath the weight of sanctioned facts of thinking, knowing, and subconscious mind frozen in time representation. Learning delays liberation when it's designed to domesticate. Education becomes a ritual of postponement. Learn first, act later, but later never arrives. Thoughts rehearse reality, knowledge defends it, and the obedience becomes the unspoken curriculum we experience. Beneath every classroom, boardroom, and belief system, there is the cognitive recollections and the curriculum of what other people want us to know and think and do. 7 ways why everything people think, know, learn, knowledge, and thoughts are unrealized, sabotaging cognitive recollections, mindset landmines, comfort zone programming. Thoughts loop, presence liberates. Thinking recycles what's been rehearsed. It echoes the archives, never the essence of innovation. As innovation stalls when cognition becomes a comfort zone, knowledge defends, wisdom dissolves. Knowing builds walls of certainty, it protects identity, yet blocks inquiry. The more we know, the less we listen and the less we go. The more you know, the more you're in status quo. Whoa. Learning delays liberation. Systems teach us to wait, to earn, to prove, to qualify. As Breathline brilliance never asks for permission, it pulses the here and now with your trend-setting acumen. Thoughts are scripted. Your signal waves are sculpted. Most thoughts are inherited and indoctrinated or insensitized. They're never your voice. They're the society software. Ain't that what education is, a society software? It is to me. Knowing seeks approval. Intuition ignites essence. We chase credentials to feel valid. Yet sovereign clarity is never certified. It's lived, experienced, and expressed. The more we seek to be right, the less we radiate. Well, that's a big one for me right there. The more you seek to be right, the less you radiate. I wrote this the other day. It's called stubborn sabotage. I called it stubborn stupidity because my thinking know-it-all had to be right about everything was really never right about anything. So when we let go of that and realize the less we radiate our innate talents opens the way to understand for you to experience a better way. Learning loops reinforce obedience. Education often trains us to follow, never to feel, and to embody our own talents. And we memorize models, mimic mentors, and mistake mastery for mimicries. As cognition clings, creation contours. Thought wants templates, essence wants terrain. So when you entertain your brain, you travel through the terrain of your trend-setting, enterprising, rebellious resolve, appreciating internal nerve. You never rise through recollection. You rise through contour craft clarity. Why everything we think, know, learn, knowledge, and thoughts shut off intuition, listening, inspiration, innovation, and imagination. Because you can never think, know, do anything. When you're thinking, everything else is shut off. Thoughts rehearse, intuition unveils. Thinking loops through archived cognitions, echoing what's been approved, never what's alive. It fills the space where silence could express intuition, never shouts, it whispers in a silent, savvy way. And thought often drowns what whispers in logic. Knowledge defends, imagination dissolves. Knowing builds walls of certainty. It protects identity, yet blocks possibility and all the fresh frontiers for you to experience. When we cling to what we know, we stop sculpting our desired lifestyle, our innovation, imagination, and all the divine good in the world. Innovation is never born from facts. It's born from listening to the frequencies of your own innovative, innate, trend-setting talents. Learning installs filters that mute inspiration. Education teaches us what to notice and what to ignore. It installs mental landmines that detonate whenever we wander off script. The result, a world listens to credentials, never the creative circuitry pulsing in the now. And see, that's the thing. We all have the now, but we're never pulsing in the innovative circuitry. And trusting everything over embodied trend-setting talents. By everything people think, know, learn, knowledge, and thoughts are unrealizing sabotage limitation. Thoughts are rehearsals of reality, never revelations. Most thinking loops through inherited cognitions. Knowledge builds walls of certainty that block intuitive clarity. Learning postpones the presence and stops the present moment by promising preparation, never the adventures of your adventurous ardor. Sovereign clarity never waits, it pulses. Why everything we think, know, learn, knowledge, and thoughts keeps people and the whole world stuck in being servants to our past. Because think and know, most of our stuff from the indoctrinated education is from the past. Thoughts are archives, never activations. Most thinking is a rerun, looping through the inherited cognitions of your subconscious and your inner landscape. And the past experiences and programmed beliefs. And see, that's the thing. Our beliefs, viewpoints, and opinions are programmed from the outside world. When we rely on thought to guide the present, we're never innovating or creating. We're curating yesterday's limitation. This is a question I ask myself 3 or 4 times a day. How is today mirroring yesterday? Because my cognitive recollections are controlling my life. Knowledge is a museum of mastery, never a magnet of electromotive force, of foresight and insight. What we know is often what we've been taught to preserve. It's credentialed, cataloged, and calcified. The past never pulses, it pauses. The more we cling to knowledge, the more we delay the choreography of the here and now. Learning installs legacy logic, never liberated lingo and enterprising wizardry. Education systems teach us to honor the past. Education systems teach us to honor the past and mimic the proven and repeat the rewarded. As sovereign clarity never echoes, it erupts. When learning becomes loyalty to old paradigms, we become to the system servants to the systems that no longer serve you. How much things happen in your day that no longer are expanding you or serving you? Oh, I have a bunch of them, but it isn't so much having them. It's about admitting to yourself that you encompass them. Why think, know, knowledge, learn, and thoughts are unrealized, entrapped limitations within us. Thoughts are rehearsals, never revelations. As knowledge builds cages of certainty, cognition clings to the credentials of the system. Its clarity contours the innovation. Systems reward memorized mastery, never minted frequencies of foresight to light your light of life, to lionize intuitive freedoms every day. Thoughts seek validation. Essence feels vibration. Entrapment happens when we chase understanding. We chase knowledge instead of broadcasting our undeniable now. Why everything business people think, know, learn, knowledge, and thoughts are unrealized sabotaging limitation. Business thought loops prioritize predictability over possibility. Most business minds are trained to forecast, never feel the embodied innovation within themselves. They chase certainty through models, metric, and market trends, yet miss the intuitive ruptures that birth true here and now innovation. Thought becomes a spreadsheet, never the signal waves of your wisdom. Knowledge in business is often a legacy logic dressed as leadership. What's taught in boardrooms and MBA programs is rarely sovereign. It's inherited, insensitized, and industrialized to follow the train tracks of business. Leaders repeat what workers, never what's working. Leaders repeat what's worked in the past, never what's working here and now. The result, it's a choreography of control that stalls cognitive ignitions. Learning becomes loyalty to systems, never liberation from them. Business education rewards manipulations of frameworks, never the mastery of frequency. People learn to scale, optimize, execute, but rarely to listen, broadcast, and unleash their contour crafts of ingenuity. The more they know, the less they sculpt. The more a business knows, the less they sculpt a new pathway. Why everything the world thinks, knows, learned, knowledge, and thoughts are embedded ancestor survival mode programming. Thoughts are echoes of ancestral alarms. Most thinking is never original, it's inherited. Passed down through generations, coded for survival, never sovereignty. The mind loops through ancient caution, scanning the threats instead of sculpting the signal waves of the here and now and of their intuition imagination. Innovation stalls when instinct overrides insight. Knowledge is a legacy of limitation. What we know is often what kept our ancestors safe, as safety is never expansion. Learning systems reward repetition of survival strategies. Conformity, control, and caution, but as the breathline brilliance never blooms in the bunkers of your thinking, knowing, memory, mind. It erupts in the open air and in the moment. Survival mode programming prioritizes protection over your presence. The world's cognitive architecture is built to avoid rupture, never radiate revelations. Thoughts become shields, knowing becomes armor, yet sovereign clarity never defends, it designs. To rise, we must unlearn the reflexes of fear and contour the choreography of the now. Contour craft the choreography of now. Why think and know stops conversations, and the flow of the innovative wisdom of the conversation. Thinking seeks answers. Innovation thrives on inquiry. Somebody enters a conversation with conclusion. They close the corridor of curiosity. I know becomes a wall. Have you ever been in a conversation and somebody says, I think and I know, and the conversation stops right there? Knowing defends, flow invites. To know is to protect the position. To flow is contour crafted innovations and the untamed frequencies of innovation. Conversations stall when knowledge becomes a badge instead of a bridge. Innovation is never a debate, it's a dance. Innovation is never a debate, it's a dance with your dreamer's audacity. Thoughts rehearse, present unveils. Thinking loops through archived cognitions but never as an innovative dialogue. So as an innovative dialogue erupts from breathline presence, it's never about proving, it's about pulsing your percipient, innovative, and inventors, wit, grit, get, and go. When we stop thinking, we start broadcasting. Why think, know, learn, knowledge, and thoughts are entrapped in socialized obedience. Thoughts are trained, never broadcasted. Most thinking is inherited, scripted by system, shaped by schooling, and rewarded by repetition. It's never your single ways, it's society's software. How's the world stuck in society's software today? Obedience begins when cognition becomes a curriculum. And see, that's the way school is. We always had to answer the way the teacher wanted it, and we had to stay inside the confines of education. Knowledge is credential conformity. We're taught to trust what's certified, never what's sense. Knowing becomes a badge, never a broadcast. The more we learn, the more we lean into legitimacy, forgetting that liberation lives in energized wisdom within us, never licensed facts. Learning loops reinforce the herd mentality. You end up in herdocracy, turdocracy, sheepocracy, titleocracy, and all the ocracies. We memorize models, mimic mentors, and mistake masteries with mimicries. As sovereign clarity never comes from knowing, it comes from contour crafting your own choreography of now. The world today is stalled out in think, know, learn, knowledge, thoughts, and indoctrinated education and MBA entrapping mindsets. They mistake memorized mastery for minted meaning. The world rewards repetition, never never vibrancy. MBA mindsets rehearse frameworks, forecast trends, and chase metrics, yet rarely sculpt signal waves innovation of fresh, adventurous ardor. Innovation stalls when brilliance is benchmarked instead of broadcast. Education became indoctrination dressed as elevation. Learning was meant to liberate, but it got licensed. Systems teach obedience to models never orchestrated to our enterprising essence. The more degrees we collect, the more we defer our own design. Sovereignty and the world is stuck in degree arrogance. Because they get that college educated degree, they forget where they come from. Sovereignty gets silenced by syllabus. Thoughts are trapped in templates, never tuned for the broadcasting brilliance within you. Business minds are trained to think in grids, graphs, and growth curves. As the cosmos never doesn't contour in a straight line. The world stalls when we stop listening to the Breathline brilliance and start looping through legacy logic. And that is something. The world is a contour. And if you can stop looking at the world as contours, you never have a blockage. You always have a pathway. And that's something else. Solutions and answers are dead-end roads. But if you can open up to the contours, you can illuminate your paths of enlightenment, traveling you onto your trails of triumph. Why everything people think, know, learn, knowledge, and thoughts are unrealized, sabotaging limitations taught by supply-side economics. Supply-side thinking codifies control, never creativity or innovation, and it leaves out the working class people. It teaches that prosperity flows from production and profit, never the presence and the purpose and the autodidact people that work for them. This mindset traps people in a loop of output over essence, where value is measured by volume, never vibrancy. The result, a world builds more, but breathes less. That's a true statement there. Breathes less. Knowledge becomes a credentialed echo of elite incentives. Supply-side economics rewards the wealthy under the disguise of trickle-down benefits. People learn to chase tax breaks tax breaks, never trailblazer brilliance. The knowing taught here is never wisdom. It's wealth worship. And that worship stalls sovereign innovation. Learning loops reinforce legacy logic, never liberated experiences. Supply side education trains mind to mimic markets, never magnetize the meaning of life. It teaches that deregulation equals freedom, but freedom without foresight is just chaos in a suit. Thought becomes a tool of obedience, never a broadcast of intuitive architecture. Why everything people think, know, learn, knowledge, and thoughts taught to the world from indoctrinated education is never to educate people, is to control people. Education becomes obedience training disguised as enlightenment. What's taught is never designed to ignite inquiry, is curated to reinforce conformity. Curriculums reward memorization over imagination. As students graduate fluent in frameworks, yet estranged from their own frequencies and talents. It's never learning, it's looping. Knowledge is credential compliance. Degrees never measure wisdom, they certify obedience to a system sanctioned by truth of somebody else. The more you know, the more you're trusted to uphold the architecture of control. Sovereign clarity isn't credentialed. It's lived, felt, and broadcasted. Thoughts are programmed to preserve the paradigms indoctrinated education teaches people to think within the boundaries, never beyond them. It installs mental landmines that detonate when you question the system. As authentic education liberates, but indoctrinated scripts the soul sends the soul into silence. Why indoctrinated education, ancestor programming, parent programming, media malarkey, and business enslaving mindset control everything people think, know, and learn, knowledge and thoughts in this moment. Education installs obedience as intelligence. Schooling doesn't teach clarity, it teaches compliance. From standardized tests to scripted curriculums, it rewards repetition and over vibrancy. Thought becomes a tool of approval, never a transmission of the enterprising essence and the elegance of people. Minds are trained to echo, never erupt. Ancestral and parental programming embed survival mode circuitry. Inherited beliefs aren't questioned, they're worshipped. Parents pass down caution, scarcity, and social obedience as wisdom. Ancestors encode trauma as tradition. The result, thought loops that protect the past but sabotage the present. Thought loops protect the past, sabotage the here and now. Media and business sculpt perception through profit, coded propaganda. Media never informs, it installs. Media never doesn't inform, it installs what somebody else wants them to do. Business doesn't innovate, it indoctrinates. Every ad, every headline, every algorithm is designed to contour cognitions toward consumption, conformity, and control. What people know is often what they've been sold. As education becomes the obedience training disguised as enlightenment. One thing is everything we've been taught in school is from yesterday, and it's what other people want us to know. Why politically socialized education embeds social obedient training with hierarchy enslaving mindset. Politically socialized education is never designed to awaken, it's designed to align. Its architecture is built to ignite, never built to ignite inquiry, yet to install ideology. From early schooling, students are taught to memorize sanctioned truths, defer to authority, and internalize hierarchy as a natural education. This is never education, it's obedience training, disguised as enlightenment. Hierarchy is embedded through credential control. Degrees become badges of legitimacy, never signals of enlivened wisdom. These systems reward those who control its structure, those who know what's been taught, never those who question what's missing. And that's what's going on today. People, we ain't questioning nothing. And I'm guilty of that. Sovereignty is silenced beneath the weight of titles and transcripts. Social obedience is a curriculum beneath the curriculum. Beyond the math and history lies a hidden syllabus. Sit still, raise your hand, never disrupt. These rituals contour the psyche to follow, never to feel the embodied elegance inside the person. Political socialization ensures that the future citizens are compliant, never curious, primed to participate in systems, never to contour craft fresh ones. And anyway, I want to thank you. I am Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom, and thank you for listening. But all these are for is to show people there's a better way. And good night and happy Labor Day.